Scorpio, hello, welcome back, or welcome. You get to be first now. It's your birthday season, and I know it must be very exciting for those of you out there with birthdays pretty soon. But they're all pretty soon now, right? We are going to do your weekly read for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising placements. And for those of you with Rising and Moon in Scorpio, your birthday could be pretty much any time, so you may have to wait. But for those of you that are Scorpio Sun placements, happy birthday, happy early birthday. We're going to use the Mythic Tarot this week, I think. This is, I'll put a link in the description box to the version that's available now on Amazon. This specific version I don't think is still in print, but the new version looks quite similar. This is the deck that I've been working with for a very long time. So let's see if we can just get a little guidance from Spirit here for Scorpio. This is a general reading. I know those of you that are returning probably get tired of hearing this on this video and my videos and everyone else's videos, but these are general readings, okay? This is not going to speak to all of you. It will resonate with whomever's energies I'm tuning into, and hopefully there will be something of use here for all of you. If it's just not at all your present situation and it's not resonating, you could check out some of the previously recorded videos. The date stamp on those doesn't matter so much. It's really when you come to the material, when you see the video, when you receive that message, that's when you individually are actually meant to hear it, not when I recorded it. Excuse me. I just had a bit of a cookie and a couple of burps here. I'm just going to take a few extra cards this week, I think. I feel like taking more cards this week. I may regret that later because the stories may get long, but we'll see. It's a weekly read, and I'll do my best to give you something of value here. So I guess let's just jump in, all right? We have the Hermit coming out first. This is telling me that maybe you've been in a bit of an isolation recently, Scorpio. You've been taking some time for yourself, thinking things through, trying to get in touch with what really matters to you most. And that process has led you to a space you find yourself in this week when you are making some choices about moving on. So you've got a little more clarity, perhaps, in this week that what is needed for you now is to make a transition into some new phase of your life. There's something you need to leave behind. It could be a someone. It may just be a way of being. It may be a bad habit. It is potentially a relationship of some sort, not necessarily romantic, that you know it's time to move on from. And because you understand that it's necessary for your growth as a human, for your peace of mind to move on, this transition is a little bit less difficult. It's not easy. There is certainly a challenge here in this moving on. Pardon me, the air conditioner's just come on. When you are making this transition, there may be some anxiety about the shift, but what I'm seeing here is that this time you've spent in contemplation is going to make it a little bit easier because you have an understanding that it's necessary, this change. And so even if it is challenging, you can manage the anxiety level of this experience. And we have the Star card here, absolutely beautiful artwork. It is something that will be healing for you. There's hope and there's faith that things will be improving because of the actions that you are taking. You're directing your life, Scorpio, into a more positive outcome through the choices you're making So even if it is a challenge, it's one that you're quite capable of taking on because you're full of this hope of a better future. The Four of Swords energy is next, and this is telling me that you're taking still some time to rest and recuperate from what you've been through. So you're not rushing anything. You're not acting in haste here. You are moving forward and making space in your week to rest when you need to rest, to consider if what appears to be the right next step is the right next step, then determining that it is and taking that step, and just in a very deliberate way, you're moving forward toward your positive future. The moon is coming out next, and I just want to try to show you the art here because it's really beautiful. There's a lot to be known. There's a lot to observe. It could be that there are some things it's not possible to see clearly right now. As you're moving forward, there is going to be an ongoing low-level anxiety perhaps, because there are certain things you cannot know until you move forward. So you can't study your way into the perfect outcome. You can't prepare yourself to the point that there are no surprises. That's not how life works in this case. This week, there's just a confirmation here from Spirit that you're moving in the right direction, and it's normal that you don't have all the answers. The Ten of Wands is showing up next, and what I see here is someone who has a lot. There's a lot going on for you. You feeling the pressure of carrying all of these decisions, all of the responsibility. This is an interesting imagery here, where she is in this space with all of the wands on fire. Usually it's an image of someone carrying all of those wands in a big bundle on their back, and although it's quite a heavy burden, it is something that is not above your ability to handle. Here with the flames, I get the sense that it's really quite necessary, where you're feeling overburdened, for you to take some action and to move out of that position of deep responsibility weighing on you. Because as you can see for this image here, she can't sit there too very long. Those wands will burn down, and it will cause her harm. So that brings for me an energy here that you're definitely moving forward this week, Scorpio. You're making some choices that need to be made. Those are absolutely the right things to do. You're doing it in a slow and well thought out manner. It's completely normal that there will be certain facts you don't know yet, certain outcomes you cannot predict. And it's the right choice. All of this is the right choice, because it will free you from this situation where something you're carrying needs to be put down, needs to be let go, needs to be removed from its proximity to you so that it doesn't cause you harm. Hopefully that makes sense and speaks to some of you. I'm going to pull one of the Enchanted Map Oracle cards for you now. This is the Colette Baron Reed set. We've used this a long time ago, I think when I first started doing the channel, but I've not used it recently. And I'll apologize for the noise. We have a truck backing up outside, so it's sort of a nice little chirpy sound, but it can be a bit distracting. Pardon me. Oh, I guess that's your card. We have here number 48, Wishing Well. Let's see if we can get you a good image of this card. Looks like there's gold in the wishing well. There's a mask. Can you see that? Let me show you the mask. Oh, focus. See? I don't know what, there's some butterflies. There's another mask. She's in this field with the wishing well. Let's see what the book has to say about that. Your wishing well, number 48. Desire is the sacred impulse for life. Feel it, but let go of all attachment to ownership. Interesting. Desire is the most important impulse for creating life. Now you're seeing the relationship between desire and inspiration, and sensing that moment of truth when you feel the inception of new life. It is an aha moment when everything makes sense. Perhaps you recognize a soulmate, or are conceiving a baby, or an idea. The wishing well card awakens you to the presence of unseen forces that enable new beginnings. Divine intelligence activates the field of possibilities where new life is co-created in a magical way. Neither you nor anyone else can know how or why this happens. It just does. To that end, you can't control the process of growth. Rather, you must step aside to be a channel for higher forces and relinquish any attachment to how this new creation should appear or when. Form your intention and take action by dropping the coin into the wishing well, and then trust in spirit. Prepare to be amazed. So this is really reflecting for me the fact that there are unknowns, that you're taking steps in faith, that you have hope and faith, and that you believe that by letting this go, by removing this burden from your life, you're making space for something truly phenomenal to come to you. And I think that is just beautiful. I hope that you have a fantastic week, Scorpio. Thank you for the likes, shares, and subscribes. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Love to have you be part of our crew here. And I always welcome your feedback. If there's something here that resonates for you and you have the time to share your feedback, I would be most appreciative. Thank you so much. As always, I wish you a wonderful week. Blessings.